Hello and welcome to this review recorded in Alabama with my sometime reviewing partner Elizabeth. Clan MacGregor blended Scotch whiskey. I was able to find out from trademark research, apparently this was started in 1909, or at least they got the trademark in the United States in 1909, could be older. It was acquired by its parent company in 1964, I think that's Gordon's. They make Gordon's, Glenlivet. Stuff like
I haven't heard of any of that.
A whole lot of Scotch. Okay, but that doesn't matter. I can put that in the notes. But it's a family-owned company that acquired this. They say on the website for this Scotch whiskey that they use 15 different whiskeys to blend it.
Wow.
And they come from different parts. The malt and the whiskey come from different parts of Scotland. And it's 80 proof, so typical, 40% alcohol.
I have a stupid question.
Okay.
So you're calling it Scotch whiskey. Is Scotch always a type of whiskey?
Scotch is a type of whiskey. It has to be from Scotland.
Okay.
So distilled, aged, and blended in Scotland. And the Clan MacGregor motto is "Royal is my race," because they descended from Scottish kings. Royal is my race. Okay. Anyway, they updated the bottle label about a year ago. If you look on the website, they talk about how they wanted to make it look nicer with more of the lion head and not just a bunch of writing. They talk about all the medals they've won, has won awards. They have tasting notes on there, which I'll talk about after we taste it, to see if it matches.
Okay.
I've never had Scotch before.
I had Scotch once at my friend's wedding in April of 2015, and I did not like it.
Okay, so
it tasted like burnt trees.
Now you've got the incense burning, so that could interfere with our smell. We'll do our best.
Sorry about that. I can move that out the way.
No, it's okay.
I feel pretty confident.
And you didn't like it at the wedding. Do you remember the Scotch?
No. It was something my friend had, and I said, "What is that smell? What are you drinking?" He said, "Oh, Scotch. Do you want to try it?" I think it was a really nice Scotch that he was given as a gift for officiating their wedding. So it was like fancy Scotch, but you
don't remember. Oh, I remember the name of the company that owns it. It's William Grant.
William Grant, okay.
Company. And it was a guy who he was studying to do something else, and he started working as a bookkeeper at a distillery, and he got so interested in it, he started a distilling company. That his family just keeps buying everybody else's house, kind of like that kind of.
Yeah, monopolizing.
Yeah.
So I have not, after that experience, I have not gone out of my way to try Scotch again. I love whiskey. I try a lot of different kinds of whiskey, but,
And they did get the Queen's Award in 1972 for, making great whiskey. And they showed on their website they're all proud because they got an award from the Queen for making good whiskey. And the man that started the company, William Grant, he died, in the 1920s.
Okay.
But the family's still there, producing all these whiskeys all over.
I'm laughing because my cat is looking at you with such interest and confusion.
Kitty. All right, so the appearance is very light.
Yes.
Most whiskey's amber. This is more like champagne looking, like yellow, with no bubbles, of course.
I see the legs. A lot of legs there.
Alcohol legs. So, like I said, I've never had Scotch. Like you, I like to try whiskeys. Usually bourbon, because that's what you see all around. Or I'll get the American blended whiskeys. Now, I think this is made with just barley malt. American whiskeys tend to use a lot of corn, because that's common around here.
Yeah, I'm not some good. Let's see, Willet rye whiskey is pretty good.
Sazerac rye. Someone gave me a bottle of that once.
But in general, I'm not gonna sit there and go out of my way to get Jim Beam, Evan Williams. I keep my trusty bottle of Jameson.
And that's Irish.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever had whiskey. Well, not the first time, but the main time I had whiskey was when I was in Ireland. And everyone was drinking whiskey gingers, and so I decided, well, I'm here, let me try it too. And it was really good.
And at my church, Father Pat, he only drinks Jameson. And there's a bottle that says for Father Pat only. Somebody wrote on it with market.
So this smells a lot more like regular whiskey than the Scotch that I had in 2015.
Oh yeah? To me, it smells very fruity.
Well, I mean, the Scotch that I had a really strong, that peat smell.
Yeah, this doesn't.
Was really strong. It smelled burnt.
No, this doesn't.
This is very mellow. This smell is actually a lot more mellow than
Let me
a
go
lot
over here
of
out of.
whiskeys.
I'm gonna go here out of the line of fire from that incense just to see if there's a difference, because I don't know if I'm picking that up. Does the breeze from outside is blowing the incense right in? It's just like a almost like a waxiness or something.
I can move the incense. Not a problem.
Yeah, it's like an alcohol burn, but it's very light.
I think what you said about waxiness is interesting because I can get that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna move that downwind from us.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to,
Let's put it on the table.
because I might have been picking up some of that. Although that's not a bad smelling incense.
It's my favorite. Yeah, chomp up the blueberries.
And there's a little bit of that mossiness, but honestly, I get more of that peat moss smell from Jim Beam, which to me smells like that cellar mold and wood and stuff.
I'm just like really surprised at how light.
And
the
there's a little
smell is.
woodiness. A little woodiness. Oh yeah, so the main thing about this Clan MacGregor Scotch is very mellow and light. If you're not into light, mellow stuff, this may not.
Okay. Well, maybe this is a good
don't mean
Scotch
you, I mean
introduction
the
for you.
viewers.
You know what I mean? Because you've never had it before, and this might be a good like.
Light, medium, real heavy and strong and intense, it doesn't matter to me. As long as it tastes good.
Are we gonna taste it?
Yeah. Taste some wood, definitely wood.
The mossiness, you know, like a
A
sort
little
of.
smoke, mossy. Little, not a lot.
Almost like a sweetness as well. I mean, I did brush my teeth earlier, but I don't.
It's a little bitterness, and like you said, sweetness. I'm gonna
What is
say
the
a few more.
sweetness, though? I
Say a few
can't-
more things, and I'm gonna talk about what they say on the website that it tastes like, and it's reminding me of that. I kind of like. I don't want to say I cheated, but I was reading the website, so I just went through it. I went through the tasting notes.
I'm not sure about the sweetness, but it's not super sweet. It's more like the skin of a fruit than the juice of the fruit, you know? Like there's a sweet,
The
like
body's light to
apricot
the
or
body's
something.
at the most medium, but it's probably like light to medium, right?
Light medium, yeah.
And the finish is pretty succinct. Like I say, it doesn't linger and get gross and cloying or anything.
Mm-mm.
Well, do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do. It again, like the scotch that I had was like.
I wish I knew what
very
it was, but you
intense.
just don't know.
I don't, but I can find out for you.
This almost has some like,
Sure.
it's really weird. It almost has like white wine qualities.
Yes, the sweetness, yeah,
a grape.
does remind me of a white wine. That's good.
Strange.
But yeah,
They said on the
I'll text Dave after this and ask what that scotch was.
okay. They said on the website for this brand that it has tastes, and they were talking about vanilla and wood, and all, but they said, and they even showed a picture of it. They said it's got a predominant taste of baked apples, like if you baked apples in an oven.
A predominant taste.
I don't know about predominant, but that was one of the featured.
Well, I mean, I was
flavors.
talking about like kind of fruit skin, so maybe like an apple peel.
And they showed an apple that had been baked, so. But we did say fruity, I mean, we didn't specifically say apple, but.
Yeah, I don't really taste. I don't know. I'm not really getting that. Although this probably would taste really good to drink with some baked apples. Like that's something I might try.
Or to cook with it.
Yeah, it's getting. We're slowly getting into fall. That sounds like a nice breakfast.
Well,
nice treat.
Yeah, this is the first Scotch whiskey I've ever had, and honestly, it tastes really good, and not like the greatest thing. Oh, it's so wonderful, but it's so different than the Jim Beam, the Jack Daniels, the Ancient Age, those bourbons, because they're made with corn, so they've got that strong corn, even sometimes a cornbread taste.
I'm not a fan of that.
This has more like that barley malt, like bread taste. Yeah, bread.
I'm glad. I'm
I
really
think they
surprised.
talked about that on the website, bread.
Because I thought that I hated scotch, but I guess I don't. And I mean, when I first tried it, it was before I had as much experience with different types of spirits. So yeah, I might start giving scotch more of a chance because I actually really like this.
Okay, so it's a winner here. It's not a hands down winner, like without reservations. It's not perfect. Seems like there's some little. I can't really say there's things wrong with it because when you've done one Scotch and it's this, there's nothing to compare it to. So I can only compare it to
Seems
American
fine.
whiskeys. Yeah, I think that's a good review.
Yeah.
Summary of it. It seems just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just fine. All right. Well, thanks for watching this little exploration of Clan MacGregor, a famous Scotch whiskey all over the world, especially I think in India. It's real big. So
What would this be comparable to if we were talking about like American whiskeys? Like what sort of like how high on the shelf would this be?
price?
I'm just kind of wondering like is this like a I don't know.
I bought it at Walmart, and they tend to have like really low prices compared to other places, which is why I go there. People say, "Oh, you're supporting the evil empire." Actually, I've never talked to a person that worked at Walmart that didn't like working there. They always talk about all the benefits they get and everything. So I'm not saying it's the evil empire. I go there all the time. For me, it's convenient. It's right there, and the prices are low. It was like $9.95, something like that, $9 something.
Okay,
it's less than
so
$10.
That's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap Scotch.
For a bottle of Scotch or just whiskey in general, it would be in the same range as like. I'm trying to think of any whiskey that's cheaper than that.
Some of those weird plastic bottles you get.
No, I'm talking about glass bottles, you know, with the actual brand name, not some store brand. The one I've been drinking on and comparing everything to, what was the one I bought? Early Times. Yeah, it's about $1 cheaper than Early Times.
Okay.
Which is a common aged 3-year whiskey. This is aged 3 years.
Okay.
And Early Times is aged 3 years. And I think they're comparable because they're both kind of like, you hate to use the word bland, but you know, like on the low profile flavor. So anyway, but nothing, maybe it's bland, but it's nothing like off or gross or disgusting
Well, no,
about
it's
it.
just mellow. It's not super complicated. It's just kind of straightforward.
And a lot of people like that
Yeah.
approach. They don't like the real harsh flavors. And Jack Daniels, they corrected me on the tour. The guy was like, "We don't use the term harsh. We say bold." I said, "Okay." I said, "Okay, bold."
That's what I'm gonna start telling people when I give criticism or something. Be like, no, I'm not being harsh.